Welcome! This short video is produced by the Washington Apex Accelerator and is made possible by the Port of Seattle. If you're a small business eager to participate in the government marketplace as a sub, you've come to the right spot. Today, we'll guide you through finding prime contractors for the Port of Seattle and other local agencies, show you how to market your business effectively, and help you steer clear of common subcontracting pitfalls. Plus, we'll highlight some valuable resources to support your journey to success. Let's jump right in. Prime contractors rely heavily on small businesses, just as small businesses depend on them. Even large prime contractors can't handle every aspect of a project on their own and often need the specialized products or services that only small businesses can provide. Moreover, prime contractors must collaborate with small businesses to meet the government's socio and economic requirements. However, being a qualified small business is not enough in today's highly competitive market. Prime contractors evaluate subs based on several critical factors. So let's imagine you're at an industry event and you're introducing yourself to a prime who needs subs. You can imagine that inside their head, they're sizing up your company by asking themselves the following questions. Can you increase my chance of winning? Can your company lower my costs? Do you have valuable insights, capabilities, or connections that could benefit me? Have we worked together before? What size or scope can your business handle? Small businesses that address one or more of these questions can offer a strong proposition to prime contractors, thereby improving their chances of being selected. So let's start exploring how to identify and target prime contractors so you can assess if their needs fit your capabilities. To do this, it helps to understand how government buys in the first place. Understanding these basic thresholds will help inform where we go to look for opportunities. The first threshold, specifically for construction contracting, is $350,000. In Washington State, if the job is expected to cost less than this amount, it may be purchased through a small works roster. This means that invitations to bid will be sent to firms that have registered for the roster, and only those firms bid and potentially are awarded. Here's a screenshot of the Port of Seattle's Vendor Connect system where you can register for their small works roster, see current and past solicitation, and watch for future opportunities. Regarding small works, you might also benefit from being registered on the MRSC statewide roster used by over 700 agencies across Washington State. Here you can see award notices as well. This data is relatively new, but will become more robust as time goes on. The third way you may be able to see who's winning these smaller jobs is through job order contracting, or JOCs. The Port of Seattle uses a JOC contract, which is held by Centennial Construction. JOCs are unique because the JOC holder issues subcontracts for over 90% of the work. As a result, there are plenty of subcontracting opportunities available. Note that you're in the Seattle region, that the City of Seattle also uses a JOC contract for projects less than $500,000. Their JOC holder is Forma Construction. Other JOC holders in Washington State include Burton Construction, Sabre Contractors, and Hilger Construction. Each one of these is actively looking for subcontracts to satisfy their needs. Now that we've discussed some of the small dollar contracts, let's talk about those bigger procurements that are more likely to need subs. Those opportunities are typically procured through a formal competitive process that you as a subcontractor can follow. Common locations for these bids include the Daily Journal of Commerce and Builders Exchange, as well as the agency procurement website. Other agencies may also have their own embedded system, while some may outsource to a totally different portal. Here are 5 common portals used by local Washington State agencies that you may come across. If you find a solicitation for a job that includes potential sub-opportunities for what you do, see if you can target those bidders and submit a quote to them. It is common for subs to bid to multiple primes that they suspect will win the job. Now that we've covered how government agencies buy, let's talk more about specifically finding the primes. We recommend you create a list of the primes that you think you might want to sub to. The easiest way to kickstart this process is through award notices. The Port of Seattle is one agency that does an effective job of being transparent with who they do business with, so you can hop onto Vendor Connect and see the award notices with primes. Sometimes firms already have their subcontractors lined up by the time they bid the work, but going back into the archives to see who won work in the past is a very good indication as to who will be bidding in the future. Once you've done as much sleuthing as you can on the internet, the next best strategy is to leverage your network. Contact government agencies directly. Many agencies, especially the larger ones, have small business liaisons who can answer your questions about government contracting. These agencies often maintain lists of their prime contractors and can share information about upcoming work. We also recommend that you join and participate in your industry associations. This could include like a trade association, a business development organization, and attend conferences and trade shows and network with others that do what it is you do. All of these groups represent an opportunity to meet and connect with primes as well, who may need you on upcoming work. Third, talk to major players, including the small business liaison at the prime contractor's office. Many large primes have a small business liaison whose job it is to make sure that new and small businesses are being considered when it comes to subcontracting. Set up a meeting with that person and introduce yourself and share your capabilities. Fourth, get on approved preferred vendors lists. Almost every large business, including primes, has a list of vendors and subs that they've been approved or somewhat vetted by the prime. Ask the prime how to get on such a list. Lastly, use your Apex Accelerator. Advisors at the Apex are experts in researching the marketplace and can frequently support your online efforts, as well as brainstorm effective strategies for building relationships with primes and agencies. If all this communication seems really daunting, or it's just not your style, or maybe you just love it, but you feel like you might be going overboard, you're going to benefit for some goal setting that will help you be intentional about your efforts. A business coach or an Apex Accelerator can help you with that goal setting. There are key things your firm should have in place prior to contacting a prime. First, ensure your online presence is consistent and professional. From that first interaction, the prime is going to be attempting to assess your level of sophistication and how large of a subcontract you can handle. So your website and all of your online profiles should all match each other. And consider upgrading your email so you're not using a Gmail or Hotmail account for business purposes. Second, develop a capability statement. This document highlights your expertise, past performance, and what sets you apart. Keep it concise, only about 1 or 2 pages, and include sections of your core competencies, past projects, and contact information. You recommend that you tailor each capability statement to the specific prime you're targeting. Your Apex Accelerator has templates and can provide you with suggestions to improve your drafts. Keep in mind this is a living document that should evolve and change over time as your company changes and grows over time. Third, register directly with the firms and ask for a capability briefing with them. This meeting is a fantastic opportunity for you to learn whether or not your capabilities are needed by them now or potentially in the future. Here, you want to be really honest about your current capacity to perform. They want to make sure that they match the subcontract to your actual abilities. This helps them reduce their risk. Lastly, let's talk about contracting pitfalls. At some point, all that talking and handshaking that we did to find and develop relationships with primes will result in an opportunity to bid that will result in an actual contract. This is a legal document. Many times your subcontract will include clauses that are flowed down from the prime contract into yours. It is critical to have copies and understand the contents of all the documents that are incorporated into the contract. It is highly recommended that you have an experienced government contracting attorney review your contract. They can help you assess the risk level of signing that document and add in terms that will reduce your risk. Other pitfalls include unclear scope of work, differing site conditions, and unrealistic schedules. Ensure your contract clearly defines the scope of work and the scheduling to avoid any misunderstandings. If changes do need to be made after award, use the timeline and the process outlined in the contract for your change order. One final tip on the video is this. build your network of mentors and resource providers. You can fast track your path to success and are more likely to have long-term success if you take time to find an advisor or a program to help you along the way. The Washington Apex Accelerator offers no-cost advising, trainings, and live Ask an Expert sessions. Washington Apex Accelerator is funded in part by the government to provide this service, so it's offered to your business at no cost. You can find your local Apex advisor at washingtonapex.org. Thank you.